Please.
Can I ask one question though, a personal question?
Please.
Because, and this is, for me, I want clarity. Because I saw a clip that you did and it went viral. And it was talking about relationships. And you had said what you said about your relationship now and how it hasn't always been that person. And I think for me, inside of that, my mind immediately went to, well, is this really cheating or is this an arrangement? Because I think that a lot of the times, people that don't understand or don't know, or they're so quick to label something. Oh, that man's a cheater, he's a cheater. Is he? Or is this something that you guys have decided and come from an empowering way where now, you know, she may feel like she has to respond or whatever it is, but the truth is she only feels like she has to respond because people don't know what it is.
For sure.
So I think that ultimately, because most men, most high value, high earning, masculine men with a lot of options at a certain time of their life will still exercise those options. That's just the reality of the situation. And also, I think that if you talk about it in an empowering way of we are grown adults and we know exactly what we're signing up for, that sounds a little bit different than, you know, I get to do what I want to do.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Just the difference between this is an arrangement or this is cheating. I don't think most people understand that because most people will never be in the top 1% of the 1%, nor date the top 1% of the 1%.
Now, to answer your question, I think this is what makes this platform a little different because I've seen you on multiple platforms and I don't think I would agree or a lot of people can see the life that I've lived.
Right.
Or can cope with like, yo, like this, that, and the third. To answer your question, I don't think this is an arrangement, nor is it cheating. I think you grow with somebody. And the crazy thing, going back to what I previously said, when you're living in your truth, right? A lot of people want the benefits without also accepting the bullshit. Now, a person who may hear that may say, "Oh, so I'm okay, I'm good. I'm sorry that you're not for me."
Yeah.
But when you cite the source of who that comment is coming from, you're not mine either. So, the thing that I say for every man, and with having that conversation with Corey Holcomb, it allowed me to speak my truth, but I could not go into, because of the timing and how the conversation went, the reality of it is, when you're living in your truth, being able to be 100% yourself that's the flex.
Yeah.
That's the flex. Not the flex in saying I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do. The flex is being able to say, I know I fucked up. Babe, before you hear this shit from somebody else, I'm man enough to tell you this is where I'm at mentally. And she does an unbelievable job by not judging the branch of the tree, but getting to the root of the tree. Because everything stems from something. And as I put my life in the forefront, I'm challenging all men to have that uncomfortable conversation with your partner.
Sheesh, yeah.
That we all, like, stop the lying, bro. Stop all that fuck ass, bullshit ass, like, that bullshit, dog. Cause when you have these conversations with the fellas, and there is a meme or something that Mike Epps said in a stand-up comedy. He's like, that nigga don't act like that. Like, but for me, I act like that around my partner. She knows that. And this is not something that I act when I need other people to witness it. The thing that is the biggest flex is like, we go on dates, we go out, we do life together, and I'm able to be myself. I ask her about her, she asks me about me, and we throw it all out there. And of course, there are some things that I've said to her that hurt her feelings.
Of course.
But in return, she says some things that hurt my feelings.
Of course.
The flex is we're able to go to bed at night. And we cuddle. We talk. We wake up in the morning, I smoke my cigar, I have my espresso, she eats her croissant, she drinks her smoothie, and we're able to communicate.
Yeah.
That right there is something that's easily said, but not always implemented.
And I think the problem is because men have been groomed to lie based off of their experiences with women. And this isn't to give anybody an out, because I do have, you know, I speak a lot to the men and accountability for women, but let's call a spade a spade. The truth is, Cam, if you were honest from the beginning, and I've only ever been in monogamous relationships, right? So I don't know. But if my man were to come to me, because I've never been in a relationship for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I can't speak from an experience I've never had, but so often people try to do that. So if my man came to me and said, baby, you know what? I want to try something different. The truth is, I don't know what my answer would be. However, the level of respect that I have for that man, that we can have a conversation and be like, okay, this is what it looks like. Because a lot of women think they're in monogamous relationships, but their men just keep it hidden. And so I feel like in a huge way, and that is the point, that men and women need to communicate about the desires of their heart. And then I can powerfully choose you, or I can powerfully let you go. But so often we get into these spaces where it's like, oh no, well, my man would never, your man probably is.
Yes.
My girl would never, oh, your girl probably already did. Yes. You know, and so I think that it's important to have that conversation, because it's like, and this is my honest truth is, right. I think cheating is weak. I think cheating is weak, and I say that because you're bold enough to make this action that you're hiding around, and you're deceitful, and you gotta be sneaky, but you're not bold enough to tell your partner. Now, an arrangement, like I said, if you know exactly what it is, or you know exactly what to expect, that is completely different from a deceitful act. It's not the act of a man having sex with another woman that women care about. Why is the first question that a woman asks after she's cheated on, well, do you love her? Because it's not about the physical act. We know that men don't care about most of the women that they smash anyway. It's not realistic to even say that. So I feel like women don't care about the act. They care about the feeling. They care about the deceit. They care about the lies. And if men would just take accountability and keep it a buck with how and who they are, then it would be a different ballgame. And I do think that that's a conversation that needs to happen more often. And I don't know why there's so much shame wrapped around humans being human.
For sure.
It is what it, in my personal opinion.
But we're all living a lie.
I rebuke that.
Not we're all, but there's people who are living a lie.
Absolutely. Look on
like,
Instagram.
Come on, bro.
Open the app.
Like, it's all power couple goals, this, that, and the third. But it's like, bro, nigga, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, tell her what you really doing for that other person.
Yes.
Or, sis, tell him
about your work husband.
Come on.
You gotta tell him.
Texting, because cheating comes in many different shapes, forms, and sizes.
Agreed.
And it don't always have to deal or do with the physical act of sex.
I agree.
So you said something real quick, and I have to move on. We are 40 minutes into this first sector.
Oh, wow.
But we're starting a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
In my situation, I never went into or never had a conversation to say, like, I want to try something new. That's not what it is. We started off like, this is who I am. This is my triggers. This is what makes me weak. This is my negative. If we're looking at this in a very, let's say, tangible way, when we're on eHarmony, tell me something good about you.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'm also gonna say, what is something bad about you? Blah, 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 blah. We have those type of conversations. Important. So it's not about me doing certain things that she's not aware of. It's when we started this journey together. We made the oath to each other, promised to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. There's a thing that I feel that triggers me in a relationship. Don't spoon feed me information. Period. Knowing who I am, you know what the fuck I want to know. Yeah. If you went out with your girls, cool. How was that? Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. Oh, man, you know, she did this and she did that. Yeah, but you're keeping out that it was a man or men with y'all. That's what the fuck I'm asking.
Period.
Don't sit up here and leave that out.
Right.
And a lot of times women do spoon feed information, which makes them just as guilty.
But it's because of the fragility of the ego.
Fragility word just flew. What the fuck is fragility?
It's when it's fragile.
Okay.
So if something is fragile, you have to be mindful of how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dealing with a high-earning, high-value masculine man.
But if you're trying to keep it a buck,
you can keep it a buck, but we have to do it. I'm telling you, because Cam, my experience and my now is high value, high earning masculine man. I cannot be like, baby, I was out with some dudes and we all like. I probably wouldn't say it like that. I would probably say it in a way that I know that you want to digest, but you know, it's you speaking from a man's perspective, but I'm a woman, so it's different.
Okay, let me tell you. A woman's power is to protect her body.
Yes.
In this day and age, a man's power is to protect his pockets.
Yes.
Understand that. So I say that because there's a situation that happened.
Yeah.
Right? Where she says, babe, I was on a girls' trip. We went on the yacht.
Yeah.
And everybody around, some of us had partners, some of us was married, some of us had boyfriends, and some of us didn't.
Yeah.
And there were men involved.
Okay.
And flat out, whether it was her who said it or somebody who said it, my nigga ain't going for this. So y'all either gonna have to leave or I'm gonna leave. Because my situation, we tell each other everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want nobody to take a picture. I don't want to be on somebody's story, and I'm gonna have to explain.
Yeah, period.
So one of the two is going to have to happen. If they're supplying the good time, it's not the same thing. Meaning, if they're paying for that yacht, if you're dealing with a high value, high functioning man, how much does the yacht cost? Here, that's how much it is. Eliminate that gray area, because if I find out and you don't tell me, then that's where the trouble lies.
I agree.
So for me, if that's our relationship where we throw everything out there, it's not about, in the words of Charleston White, when you're speaking the truth, you cannot care how it comes off.
May I?
Please.
I do think one thing though, and this is outside looking in, this is just an opinion. It does not make me right. But I do think that from what I'm new to like the whole conversations that you've been having, like the newer conversations. I've been watching the newer conversations. The one thing that I do think is, even though it's the truth, there's a way to tell it. And what I mean by that is, I would love to see more of a protection around y'all as a unit. And why I say that is because if she's responding, does she feel protected? Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
But this is what I tell her. Baby, it's too many fuck shit going on out here. And we locked in.
Yeah.
You know we locked in. I'm locked in with you. I'm in love with you. So for me to have to explain to the masses something that they don't even know or they don't even want to know,
right?
Why the fuck is that even important? My thing is exposing the fuck shit.
Yeah.
And by saying, hold on, bro. I can have this conversation.
Yeah.
And I can go back home and I have another conversation and we still are locked in even more.
Yeah.
I don't gotta lie.
I agree.
I don't have to perpetrate this lifestyle of something. And when I say cheating, when I say other women, this ain't something that always is happening actively. We've been together going on 5 years. So for me, when those certain questions are asked, I'm talking about over the span of 5 years.
Yeah.
And she knows everything, just like I know everything. It's too much, okay, I'm going to choose this and deal with that and not, don't tell me that. Because this is what I mean when I go back to the statement I said, you want the benefits, but you don't want the bullshit. You want the Birkin bag, you want the Cartier love bracelet, you want the house, you want the car, you want this, but when I need you, when I'm coming to you in a vulnerable state to say, babe, I'm not happy right now. Not I'm not happy with you.
Right.
I'm not happy with how business is going right now.
Yeah.
This is what triggers me. Okay, my trigger may be different than Cam, than Sam, than Dan, or Donald.
Right.
Because for Cam, it may be sex. For Donald, it may be domestic violence.
Right.
For Sam, it may be alcoholism. For Donald or Dan, it may be drug abuse. So, bullshit, benefits. You don't get to pick up the baggage that you want. You have to say, what's your, what you said, stay power?
Staying power.
Staying power.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to have you as a hostage more so than a volunteer.
Right.
Because I'm volunteering to be with you daily. I don't want you to be no hostage where it's like, man, he gonna do this or I gotta stay because, no. That's not that. Because if you want to ask yourself this ain't no new way of living. That's what people are so delusioned about.
The delusion
This
is real.
shit been happening for years.
Yeah.
Uncles, aunties,
Yeah.
dads, granddads, like everybody has always dealt with temptation.
Yeah.
And that's where I ask, have you been able to have that ecosystem? Because for me, I've learned with certain things, a lot of people can't cope with my lifestyle.
Most will never understand
That-
to even know that they can or not.
But even to that point, when I get triggered, when I go through certain situations, bro, I'm coming to you like, dog, I'm hurting right now. I'm weak. I can't go to my women because of this. Because even though she's so submissive, even though she's so strong, even though she has so much insight, even though she has a way of calming me in ways that it does feel like a drug, there are certain things that I say to myself and I'm like, all right, I got a place of refuge in her.